Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing the new card. He is the new card. He is definitely the most powerful card in the set. Bilbo, Thief in the Night. I'll be stunned if this card isn't just like completely broken in this league. We'll see. But he is Bilbo, Thief in the Night. Great name for our card, by the way, and great art. 1 blue, 1 colorless. Legendary creature, halfling rogue. Spells you cast from anywhere other than your hand cost 1 less to cast. That's pretty good ability. It's just passive. And whenever Bilbo attacks, you may Dreadhorde Arcanist, basically. You may cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell from your graveyard. Note that it's cast. So my understanding is like Snuff Out is just like free. You just pay 4 life and flash it back. But if you actually want to pay for it, you get the discount. And then you get to exile it. So it's kind of like Snapcaster, but it doesn't have the restriction that Snapcaster had. So it's like way better than Snapcaster in the sense that you don't actually have to pay ever, as far as I am reading the card. Also, passive ability makes Brazen Borrower come in for 2 blue mana. You don't even have to pay the colorless since it's coming in from exile. Assuming you did put it on an adventure, as one should. We have our 4 daisies here. We've got our 4 wastelands, rounding out the disruption package, the 4 forces, and 3 Thoughtseizes. I went down to 3 because I really wanted to make sure that we have plenty of room for removal. We're playing 6 removal spells, and we're just going to try to run our opponents over with Netherglyph. That's really our win con here. We got Bilbo, we got Netherglyph, we've got our Lonely Brazen Borrower. That's it, and the rest of the deck is just drawing cards and removing threats. We do have tons of additional interaction in the sideboard. The sideboard is basically all interaction. We've got 2 Consigns, 2 Hydros, 3 Force Negation for those pesky card decks that are still running around. Orcish Bowmasters, I got 4 of them. I think this is great if we're up against like a white deck. We can just bring this in and suddenly they have way too many threats for their plows to deal with. We've got 2 Nile Spellbombs, and one of my favorite cards, Bloodchief's Thirst. We can just take out the Thoughtseize against an aggro deck and bring these in, and we still have a really high sorcery count. We're going to play a full 5 rounds and see if Flow State and Bilbo can get along well. All right, unknown opponent, but likely a fair gamer. I'm going to keep this hand. It doesn't do a lot other than interact. We can lead with Swamp if we want. We can also bobble them and see what they're going to draw before we Thoughtseize them. This seems like a great interactive hand if they're on combo. If they just play like a creature and pass, at least we probably have that covered. All right, so let's see what they're working with over here. They mulled a 6. So bobble first. The bobble really only serves the purpose of making Netherglyph grow, and it is something that if we don't have like an instant or sorcery, we can flush back. Okay, it looks like they're likely on Jeskai. We saw Teferi there. I am going to go ahead and just Thoughtseize them. So we're going to get a 1-for-1 here, but Force is going to be pretty bad in this matchup because it's not a combo matchup. Oof. That is a very, very solid hand. And I don't really think that there's much to be done here. Like, I think we have to take the... If we take the Flow State, that makes the next one even better. I don't want to take a Brainstorm. I think I am going to take a Flow State. I would like to take the Plow, but like we don't even know how long it'll be. Like they might shuffle it away because we're just not going to present a threat for a while. Unless we get really lucky and draw Bilbo, in which case I'll Force to protect. Our opponent does have Force themselves, though. But I expect this to be a very long game, so I'm going to try to play quickly. We get our card. It is another Netherglyph. All right. So I think that'll just trade 1-for-1 with a Plow. It's not that big of a deal. Give us some life that we can actually use. Maybe it is a mistake to let them take my Netherglyph. All right. They're probably going to Brainstorm in the end step. No. Why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense. I'm on cold medicine. Sorry if I don't make any sense. Okay. So I expect... I do have a Surveil land. I'm going to go fetch it. Also, I led with the wrong fetch, but it doesn't really matter because I already have the Swamp out. Okay, they're going to Plow now. I think it'd be a mistake to force this because they'll just force back. But then, like, I think we need to hold our Force for Teferi. Yeah, I'm just going to accept that. And now I kind of feel like a dum-dum. I didn't know I was going to draw that, obviously. Oh, well, that's a nice dodge. I didn't know I was going to draw a creature, but maybe because I have so few creatures in my deck, maybe it was correct to go and just take the Plow there. So I have something that I can pressure Teferi with. So I will be deploying that this turn. I'll also be getting a basic just in case they're on back to basics. I don't need to take any further chances. I've got my colors under me. And I am going to go ahead and just do this. Just going to start the clock and see if I can draw another interaction spell so that when Bilbo finally arrives, I'm going to have a juicy graveyard, and hopefully he'll get to attack. All right, let's come across... Ponder's a great rip. Should I ponder first? No, there's no reason to ponder first. I'm going to attack, and then I'll try to find a Thoughtseize. Again, like, I'm so excited about this card. I don't care that I'm on cough medicine. I just want to show you. So if I make punts, please be a little bit more understanding than normal. Fatal Push. These are not good enough. Actually, Brainstorm does change the hand, but I am going to probably force the Teferi. I think I'm supposed to force the Teferi, and then they force back, and then they're like empty. These cards are not exciting. I'm going to shuffle them away. I've already got the Fatal Push. What I need is probably another way for a Bilbo. Okay. Well, they are equipped. Like, I'll definitely pitch the Daze if it comes down to it, so I can maybe draw another blue card. Okay, yeah. I'm going to pitch the Daze. But Daze is not going to be good here. And I'm not going to let them Teferi me because who knows what kind of stuff is on the way. It is interesting they're playing Delta when they could be playing Prismatic Vista because they're like heavily basics as far as I can tell. But I could have the wrong read on their deck. Okay, they're just going to take another hit from Brazen Borrower. Oh, man, we bricked. Yeah, maybe like holding... No, I would have drawn a bunch of crap along with that Brainstorm. So, yeah. We'll see what happens here. But I'm pretty sure they're just going to Teferi, force Teferi, and then they're going to bounce this and then buy themselves like so much time. If they cast a cantrip and then cast a Teferi, that'd be the dream because then I could actually convert this Daze meaningfully. These Fatal Pushes have been horrible pickups. I don't even know if they have creatures in their deck. But a Brainstorm completely changes this game. The scary thing is they actually had the Flow State in their graveyard. I put it there. I've got Flow State in my deck too, though. Okay, man, interesting. They just don't want to play Teferi out. There we go. Let's do this. Are they playing black? Is that why they have Polluted Delta? Yeah, this can't be the force. I've got to hope for something better. Okay. So just a bunch of mediocrity. I don't want these Fatal Pushes. I think I have to Flow State just to dig through them real quick. I would love to Thoughtseize here, but like I might flow into a land. There is one more card in there. Okay, they're going to interact here. They're brainstorming. That's fine. They may have been worried about Bowmasters, which my Bowmasters will be coming in. They'll be insane in this matchup. Like, Jeskai players can't stand Bowmasters. Let me tell you. Shout out to Nick Rainey. It's like his least favorite card. He plays up at the shop. He's a great Jeskai player. Okay, and yeah, it's a blue card. I mean, we did clear the other Fatal Push. We're back up to 7 cards. We're just going to pass. I would have loved to have Thoughtseize them, but I felt like that was a good opportunity. And now I will probably... No, I'm not going to double Daze. I'll just force pitch force and then hope the Daze matters. Gosh, they got so many freaking lands. Well, I guess that's actually a good thing. I am going to double force this Teferi. I don't want it. No thanks. Please force back. Okay. So I don't think that they have either of these cards, but they likely have a force in their hand, which we're going to see in a second when I Thoughtseize them. There we go. My boy. Let's rip up the hand. Terminus. Well, Jace. I'm sorry, but Jace cannot... we cannot count as Jace. Terminus, they could just put it back on top of their deck. Yeah, I'm just going to take the Jace here. And then... Bilbo. And then their hand doesn't do anything. And I've got my incredibly degenerate creature on the table, but they may be playing it too. The thing is, I'm playing on a DB account, which basically means that like I can try cards without having to buy them. I actually do have an account with like most of the legacy staples, but when these cards come out, they just get so expensive on MTGO. So yeah, sorry if it takes a while for the price to drop, but it probably will drop. We'll see whether this is like a multi-format all-star, but it's definitely going to be a legacy all-star. Here we go. All right, this is the first activation on the channel of Bilbo. We're hyped. I think this is a Thoughtseize. No, it's a Flow State. What am I talking about? Of course I'm going to Flow State. Let's just get 2 cards. Yes, always yield to this, and we get to target our Flow State. I mean, this is just broken. 1 mana Flow State. Yeah, I'll play a mana to Flow State. Sure. And I'll take the Thoughtseize, and I'll take the Bobble. I don't think Daze is super great here. Bobble just replaces itself. One of the reasons I'm playing Bobble is it can replace itself. I'm going to see what they're drawing. Just make sure it's not a Terminus. I've drawn so many bricks, but Entreat the Angels. Holy guacamole. I hope that's not a blue card in their hand. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and Thoughtseize, and then I can just force it. Oh, wait, I have to wait for combat to end. Not used to casting. Oh wait, combat is over. Let's Thoughtseize them. I can tell this card is just gonna be so oppressive. The game is super over. They're fetching. They're gonna hardcast a force on this. They're not gonna be happy when I show them the daze. But can I daze this? If they draw entreat, I think I'm gonna draw a card off bobble. I think I'm supposed to just let this go. Then I have to force the entreat. Yeah, because that's the force. So we know that they have Terminus in hand and one unknown. They're actually not that far from just straight up casting Terminus, but I can daze. Yeah, I'm just going to pass here. Draw my card. I've drawn so many cards. Like, I'm almost halfway in my deck. This is crazy. And I'm up against Jeskai. You know, they draw a lot of cards too, and they still got 42. Yeah, they scooped. Man, entreat wasn't good enough. Why didn't they entreat? It's 2 white, I think, for the miracle cost. I think they could have entreated there. Maybe they misclicked. I probably still would have entreated just to see if I could deal with it. But spoiler, I could definitely deal with it. So this is the Bowmaster coming in for sure. I like Bowmaster more than Nethergoyf here, but I like the max threats. I think Daze comes out on the draw for sure. They've got really stable mana. I'll just bring them all out. No, I need to cut out some of these snuff outs and stuff. Snuff out can hit Merc if they're playing it. They may be playing it. I actually don't think that I should keep Fatal Pushes. I'll cut a couple Fatal Pushes. And then we didn't see any red. Did we? We saw like the possibility of a red. I think Force is fine. We're going to have a lot of card advantage. Yeah, we just need to keep the pressure on. That was oppressive. All right, so this is a no-lander. All right, this is totally workable. Let's keep this. I'll just put back a bobble. I only need one. And then I have a Force blue card to go with my Bilbo. Bilbo is such a fun word to say. They're pondering. If they shuffle, I might waste. No, there's never a world in which that's correct. Because we want to get Bilbo on the table as soon as possible. Bilbo is going to be insane. We might even just let them plow the first one and play the second one and hold our force for something more impactful. I can play on basics. I think I'm going to play on basics. I can also manipulate my draw and just draw what I want here. Okay, Ponder is totally fine here. It's a blue card. It's a card that we can start flashing back with Bilbo. So I'll just wait and draw it. All right, they are brainstorming. There's this word barnstorm. I think I'm going to start calling throughout this league barnstorm instead of brainstorm. Don't get annoyed. I love that word barnstorming. It's like something like a politician does when they're trying to go out into the sticks and people to like vote for them and stuff. Yeah, are they going to back to basics me? They could. They could have Wasteland. I think I'm just going to get the basic and not. I think surveilling here is greedy. Okay. So let's play this out, and then I'm just going to jam Bilbo. We've got double force if we need to protect him. And he immediately just targets that thing and just we're butter zone. All right, he's in. I imagine they're going to untap and then try to plow him, and I'll let them plow him, and I'll double force if they Teferi again. We can't have that around here. All right, they're just passing. Okay, erode. Well, that's kind of annoying. I do want this value. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to pitch the other Bilbo. No, I'll pitch the Ponder because I can just bring back the bubble. Because I got all my basics out and I didn't think they'd be playing Erode, but that totally makes sense. Erode's an insane card. All right, so let's go ahead and draw. Bowmasters. Love it. So I can just bobble here. Let's go ahead and... I want to go to combat and see if they let me. Okay. Instant speed bobble coming in. Always yield. Bobble. All right. They're taking 2. I'm going to see if they're drawing land. And if they're drawing land, I think I'll probably just waste here. Terminus. I'm just going to waste them. So that should tell them that, like, oh no, I need to do something here. I am going to just force the Terminus. That's fine. Yeah, I'm going to force this. I want to keep my Bilbo. And then I've got Bowmasters if they try to fight back. But that is in their yard, but they're not even close to being able to put it back on top with Mystic Sanctuary. This is just like such an freaking Apex Predator threat. My goodness, this card is so good. All right, and I'm not going to play out the Bowmaster. I'm going to hold it. There's no need. I'm just pulling ahead every turn. I got my engine online. Erode. Well, unfortunately, I can't do anything about it this time, but he was a 2-for-1. Okay, so I can ponder here and still hold up Bowmasters. I'm going to fetch first. And just in case Back to Basics is in there, I don't think it is, but Flow State, the other insane card. I think I'm just supposed to Flow State here. Then I have a land drop and a Thoughtseize. Do I have sorcery in my yard? I don't. No, I have Bonner going into my yard. Of course. Okay. Man, this is... Who said playing Tempo was hard? I know I always say that, but like this deck feels insane. Is that a force for me? Finally? A road's so good too. I love my opponent's deck. I can't imagine it's correct to not force here if you have force. Oh, I already played a Marsh Flat, so I'm not going to be able to Thoughtseize him this turn, unfortunately. And I actually totally misstacked. Based on that, I should have kept the Thoughtseize on top. All right, we got it, and the card underneath there was another Bilbo. Holy guacamole, absolutely insane. That was like the best flow state of my life. I'm feeling it. Your own flow state, which is a good flow state. Feel that butter. Slide all over your... I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just this quote from the terrible movie 1990s Hackers. One of the characters is like, "Welcome to the butter zone, baby." And I like that. That has always lived in my head. All right, so this is... Oh, gosh, why do we have to rip Wasteland too? All right, let's Thoughtseize first. That way if they have Spell Pierce, they still can't protect whatever it is they're trying to win with over there. And if they want to Brainstorm to protect, Bowmaster Boys in the house. I should have probably played at the Wasteland, but just in case they did Brainstorm and like they are playing Daze for some reason, but they're definitely not on Stifle Pup. Gosh. Wrath is pretty good. My opponent is playing really well. Like, I think I just waste and then just hold up the Bowmaster because it's going to do them in really quickly, but I don't want Wrath on the table. They do have another land. Let's see. Let's take a look at their hand again. I probably should have mapped this out better. So, Wrath. They are very far from Mystic Sanctuarying anything. Spell Pierce is great, but it doesn't actually do anything against my hand. They could just blind rip a Terminus. I think I'm supposed to go ahead and Bilbo and just accept if they spend the mana to try to lock this down with a back to basics. Bilbo is our engine. He's going to snowball for us. They may be able to find a plow off the Brainstorm, or they might just Brainstorm right now to try to find a force now that they know that we can't. Yeah, they just let it go. Maybe I should have Bowmastered first, but like I can imagine a world where they just don't do anything and pass the turn, and then I look like really dumb. They may not want to play into Daze, but I'm on the draw here. Oh, they did have Terminus on top. That's brutal. That's not really brutal. It's just a 1-for-1. But now I know about the back to basics, and I can just keep my land up, and I'll just hold the Bowmasters. So they have their land. All right. Did we didn't know about the Terminus, did we? Call me on the comments if I totally overlooked that. This isn't really worth playing, but I'm going to play it. And really all we're doing, like this game's practically over. I'm just waiting for them to get greedy and Brainstorm. Flow state. Yeah, that's strong. I don't think the Wasteland was wrong. I think we just wanted to, we knew it was going to get trapped under back to basics. I don't think taking back to basics was correct either. If we play the Bowmasters, they get a perfect Brainstorm. Okay, that's a brick. Yeah, I'm just going to have to hope that they try to Brainstorm here, and then I can get some value out of it. But I need to pinch that Brainstorm. Yeah, they have to know something's up. Like, I guess I could just be holding a bunch of lands. Thoughtseize. Let's do this. You know what? So let's say hypothetically, I Thoughtseize. That turns on their Spell Pierce if I don't have the land out. I'm going to play the land out. They may just try to trap me, but I want them to Brainstorm so I can Bowmaster. And then I'm just going to hope that they don't have the land. They have double Bowmaster. Okay, so I'll just take this Prismatic Ending. And then I'm just going to pass. And that has to be a little sus. Like, why would I play out those lands? They're playing like a freaking champion. My goodness, my opponent's really good. I can feel it. Like, I've played against them again before. But you can feel when you're up against like a really high skill player. You can just feel it. They know that I have this Bowmasters in my hand. Snuff has a brick. Yeah, I figured they'd have more creatures in their deck. This is ugly. We're falling farther behind for sure. Bilbo needs to come to save the day. Force Negation is actually not bad, but it will get pierced. And then they'll just play the back to basics. They would only be doing this if they were confident that they had an answer. I am going to go ahead and do this. I think it'd be a mistake to let them, like they're going to be able to get a perfect Brainstorm, but they have to fetch first. And now if I attempt to force, they're just going to Spell Pierce it, so it doesn't even work. So I do get a thing, but like we just traded. The plow needed to go sooner or later. But at least I have a creature that applies a little bit of pressure here. They get a perfect Brainstorm. They probably put back to basics. Like, why would you even keep it in this situation? They still have a brainstorm for later. So I've got bricks in my hand, basically. Like, this isn't a total brick, but it's kind of a brick because of their spell pierce. But I wouldn't be surprised if they put away spell pierce here. Maybe I can. I think if they try to cast something next turn, I will attempt to do it. I'll assume that they're shuffling away the back to basics. I have a huge advantage in they don't know what I'm on. I don't know exactly what they're on, but they appear to be like heavily creatureless. Like I haven't even seen a Tamio. So in game 3, I'm going to be able to definitely swap some cards around, and I'll bring in let's take a yeah, I'll keep my daisies in for sure on the play, and then I'll bring in this force negation as well. All right, so they disconnected but reconnected. They lost like 5 or 6 minutes though, and they were very ahead in time for another behind. And I suspect their deck does take a lot of time to win, so that may be of great consequence. They didn't shuffle. Interesting. So they're keeping the Pierce. I have to presume the Pierce is in their hand. Okay. Well, I'm not going to play in a Pierce. If I don't have anything, I'll just hold up the Force Negation. Well, that's an insane card. I think I'm supposed to do it before combat. Okay. Flow State. Nethergoyf. Let's do this. So Flow State will have to wait until next turn. I will attack first, and then I am going to play with this Nethergoyf. Because, again, I feel confident that they've got the Pierce. They may shuffle away now. This is a 5-6. This ends the game quite quickly. They're going to need to take action on it. There is some tension between playing Back to Basics and a Road in the same deck, because you're basically guaranteeing that if your opponents have basics, they're going to be able to get them out of their deck. I don't like Back to Basics against my deck. I would take it out, and I'm a huge fan of Back to Basics. I think it's a great card, but I don't think it's good enough against Blue-Black just because they have the 2 basics. Okay, they are making a move here. They're putting Terminus on top. That's fine. So I can just force and pay for it, or I could just pay for the Spell Pierce. I think it's better to let this go. I know it kills our momentum, but I actually want my spells to do stuff, and I'm worried that I'm like completely tapped out, and then it actually does become kind of appealing to use Back to Basics. So they may have shuffled away. Oh, what? They're on Miracles. Straight up Miracles. They're putting the Flow State on. I believe in miracles. Yeah, you can do that. I'm not going to fight that. I am going to try to Flow State, and gosh, we're getting some pretty ugly rips. Well, I'm going to go for this, but like I probably can't play anything out of it. Yeah, they're going to pierce me, so I'm going to pay for it at great cost. I mean, this game's probably over if I don't. But like, I don't know. I just need to set up like a good hand for next turn. And if they have a second pierce, that sucks. But I knew that this was a possibility. Okay, so we did get it, and we got a bunch of junk that doesn't do anything. Yeah, I don't even want this Undercity Sewers. I can fetch it later if I need to. I will play this out and just hope to rip a blue card just in case I can stop something. But they're like on the hardcore miracles. Like, oh, that's actually good. No, wait. I was looking at their deck. That's not good. Yeah. We'll draw a card, and then I can force their thing that they're... Oh, gosh. Okay, game's over. Let's go to game 3 with the clock on, time on clock. Okay, yeah, they were very far ahead there. Okay, so as I said, we're going to bring Daze in. I'm not in love with it here, but I don't think anything else matters here. Like, I definitely want to take out my pushes. I would like to take out Snuff out, but like it could come up. Oh, maybe I should take it out. Like, I'm just afraid I'm going to die to some Merc out of nowhere. Or that one Triumph. Yeah, I don't want to die to Triumph. I think we just take out the Force of Negations. We're going to try to tempo them for sure. Because this, like, oh, man. Okay, come on. 19 lands. All right, there we go. This is a good hand. So the card that goes back is definitely Snuff Out. I don't know how good it's going to be, but it's in the deck. We can dig for it if we absolutely need it. Let's go and see what they're drawing. Back to Basics. Okay, that's good to know about. But I can't do anything about it. I think we just want to get on the table and start hitting as fast as possible. They're 2 turns away from Back to Basics. So I'll just make sure to cast my Ponder before then and try to find a basic. Borrower, actually, no, there's no way they jam Back to Basics when I'm not tapped out. They're going to want to get as many lands as they can for that. Okay, this is good because I can go get I'll just go get an island here, and then I can Ponder. This will grow the Goyf. Looking for like a Force would be nice. Bowmasters is fine. I want that Swamp for sure. I think I just Nethergoyf, and then I Swamp next turn. Yeah, I just want to max damage. And this is pretty strong. Let's go ahead and come across. I should have actually cast the Nether Goyf first just in case they panicked and like killed it. They absolutely could rip Terminus, which would be an absolute bummer. Okay, no miracle. I don't believe in miracles. And no, I'm not going to sing the McDonald's song. Okay, let's see what they get here. If they get, like, they're almost certainly going to get a plains off this Arid Mesa. I'm ripping Thoughtseize, I think. What's the Thoughtseize or Bowmasters? One of the two. Maybe I'm hallucinating about that Thoughtseize. Yeah, there we go. There's we go. I'm going to go ahead and do this and just, man, I don't want to commit so much to the board, though. What if? I want them to force this. He's Bilbo. He's brutal. And if they have it, like, I'm just so cooked. They could brainstorm, put it on top, and then, man, it's going to be ugly. Okay, they are making a move. I actually hope that they counter this just to grow these. All right, that's totally chill. Let's go in for 8. You're going to need a Hail Mary. But, like, again, if they just have it on top, then I'll have to beat them down with this Brazen Borrower. The Fairy is annoying, but survivable. I have a Bowmaster on top. That is very strong. So I can Bowmaster and attack the Fairy down, and then I've still got the Nether Goyf. I'm going to play this out. Yeah, I need to get rid of Teferi. Wait a second. Is there a different way to play this? No, there's not. Okay, if I ping them, they're down to 1, and I just leave them with the Teferi. I can't interact anyway. I think I do that, and then they just can't do anything for the rest of the game. That was a risky play. I am thinking about deploying this Nether Goyf. It taps down my land forever. But then, I mean, they're at 1. Like, they have to sweep her. There's no other way out of this. I just hold. Got it. Round 2, we're likely up against a blue-red Delver player. I like this hand a lot. It's definitely going to stay. I'm not going to send it back. Opponent's name is Apocchime. I'm not sure if that's a magic card, but that is a sick sounding like concept. Like, you can just imagine this little chime, and like the world as we know it has fundamentally changed. Let's go ahead and just get a little bit more information to decide whether we want to, because if we get the vibe that they're on combo, we may want to play a little differently. Murktide, okay. That doesn't really tell us anything. I do want to get my Nether Goyf in. I do want to fetch to get the Nether Goyf in. I'm going to fetch. I'm going to get a black source. I'm going to get an Underground Sea. The reason I'm doing this is this way they can't Unholy Heat my Goyf, because it'll be 2-3. Because Unholy Heat doesn't do a lot against my deck. Like, all my creatures are really tiny. Well, I guess it'll kill like a bigger Goyf later, but yeah. Okay. So we draw another one. All right. And that's good, because if they're going to kill our Nether Goyf, they're probably going to kill it through a means that we can reverse. Nether Goyf also gets cheaper when Bilbo's out. It's just like yet another crazy thing that Bilbo, like, you can bring back your Nether Goyf for 1 black and 1 colorless instead of 2 colorless. They kept their top. I don't know what that card is, but it must be insane, because I'd be like dumping everything I could to try to get Delirium and try to get my man. Yeah, it's too bad we don't have main deck Bowmasters, but this is the new blue-black. It's not the old blue-black. I'm sure Grindstone Cowboy would take exception to me with his 22 trophies or whatever he's got right now with blue-black. Okay, they're going ahead and taking a peek at my deck. A lot of peeking going on today. Wow, this Nether Goyf is insane. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to go ahead and waste them. Never waste over, they say. Watch me. Now I'm going to play this out. This is going to get bigger if they counter it. If they may force at this point, because I'm starting to overwhelm them. I'll go ahead and take another peek. We're on the play. We have to be assertive. They're drawing a land. Maybe I should have checked before I wasted them. They did put a card type in the yard, but they were going to put that card type in there anyway. Okay, so next turn is flow state if I have a land, but I don't think they're going to just play a Wasteland to pass. So we both get our bobble trigger. Like, they're going to want to do something to get ahead with this board the way it is. If Dragon's Rage Channeler grows, it has to attack, and that's a losing race. They get the basic. You love to see it, Delver. Okay. I am going to stinky flow state here. They're very far from being able to kill my dude. Yeah, if they daze, they will put an instant and potentially a sorcery or a creature in their yard. I am going to go for it because it grows my Goyfs. And if they counter, I don't care. I just need to grow my Goyfs. They do counter it. Okay. So my Goyfs are 3-4 now, which means that DRC can't block them profitably. They kept. No, I'm not going to pay. Let's swing in. Who's racing? Me. They have 0 lands in play. They're not going to be able to murk anytime soon. I will attempt to flow next turn whether they waste me or not. But there's no world in which it makes sense to waste me here. Delver does flip. Daze. Okay, that's good to know about. But I'd love to draw like a snuff out here. They have a brainstorm which is very powerful. So we're going to take 6 here. But they are losing the race. If we find any instant, these become gargantuan. They've already played their land, so they're not going to do anything except attack. They still don't have Delirium. I would hang back. I was just... I don't know. Man, yeah, I'll take 4. That's fine. Come on, any instant. So good. So good. All right. Yeah, I'm just going to snuff. Snuff and hit him for 8. I'll just snuff this thing. This has to attack, so it's not even a good blocker. Well, Snuff Out does stop Murk. If they Murk next turn, that would be a problem. I'm going to go ahead and Flow State first. Okay, Bilbo. And we have a land. It is a pretty stinky Flow State. Oh, wait. I don't get to get 2 cards because I'm a dum-dum. I should have snuffed first. Okay, well, that was... They just scooped to that, but like I punted hard. That was a pretty hard punt. Okay, let's talk about what comes in. Spell Bombs. Hydroblast, definitely. Bloodchief's Thirst. And then... You don't really need the Bowmasters. I don't think we need them. I think what I want is to get rid of these Thoughtseize that are doing damage to ourselves. I probably want to get rid of a Snuff Out because I just brought in a bunch of additional removal. This can hit. No, I need to keep these in. I've got a Borrower and a Snuff, but they probably got at least 2, maybe 3 Murky Boys. Yeah, man, the Cutter is such a pain too. I'm trying to think about like all the different things that can go wrong here. Bilbo, this is one matchup where I think Bilbo is actually not that great because often they're going to have a big enough blocker that he just dies. So I do think I shave up Bilbo. Is Bowmaster better than Bilbo? Because they're going to also have Pyroblast. I'm kind of thinking about just bringing in Bowmasters and taking out Bilbos because it's really mana intensive. But like Flow State just seems a little safer than trying to put a Bilbo on the table that dies to like, if between the bolts, the unholy heats, and the pyroblast, it dies to like, I don't know, 9 cards in their deck. I know that sounds maybe extreme, and well, I need some win cons. I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna take out all the forces. I'm gonna bring in the Bowmasters, and I will leave 1 force. Yeah, I think I'll do that. This may seem crazy. You may be like, "What are you doing?" But like Daze trades for stuff, like it's almost inevitable on a long enough game you're going to find some way to convert the Daze unless they just have like a flood hand. This looks pretty good. We've got Basic Island, Bobble, Double Daze. I'm going to keep this. All right, no play, turn 1. You'd love to see it. All right, Bloodchief's Thirst. That's a great card. Let's go ahead and see what we're drawing. Okay, Borrower is pretty good. I think I want that. So that's an answer to Murk. I've only got 3 answers. Well, I mean, I could kick her of Bloodchief's Thirst. Okay, they're fetching. Thundering Falls, that's fine. I'm going to be fetching Basic Island, sadly. I just didn't find the lands I needed. Maybe I should just shuffle anyway. Because I need to max the lands. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just... I would like to take the Brazen Borrow, but I'd rather just have a land. And technically, if I had any thought that they had Daze in their hand, or a Stifle, then I shouldn't have done. Flow State number 2, not the greatest, but yeah, I'll probably Daze a Flow. Well, no, they're not going to Flow State here. They're going to double threat. Oh, this is going to get, and they can't Daze back, so this is really good. And yeah, they can't pay for it, so that worked out great. Now I'm just sitting here doing nothing, but I only have 1 land, so it's not that big of a deal that I Daze there. Okay, they bobble me. And note that I did not brainstorm. I believe I can get better value for my brainstorm. So just digging a single card. My hand is fine. All right, so let's go ahead and play this out. And then I am going to just bobble them this. There's no value in bobbling me when I can't manipulate my draw. And we're going to hope to draw into... My 1-0 force would not be bad here. You got a Delver coming. So now I want to just find a Black Source and a Orcish Bowmaster. And I want them to not find land number 3 because that makes my days really stinky. What? Oh, no. We're going to die if they have land number 3. They have land number 3. I'm like, I think we just went to like practically 0% likelihood of winning here. Yeah, they got the Ponder. And I don't want to Daze because I had to hope that I'm going to find a land and be able to actually move the game forward. And what does that look like? Probably flow stating before I die. Like I need to probably have a stinky flow state and then a good flow state. No, if I find a underground or a path to a swamp, then I'm going to Blood Chief Thirst this thing. So I am going to go ahead and just fire off this brainstorm. I can't risk not finding anything. And then I could probably shuffle away one of the dazes. Yikes. 3. There's no way we're winning from here, in my humble opinion, because we're just totally brainstorm locked. Okay. So now the dazes are going to be way better than they were there. I'll definitely take out this force now, and I will put in a Bilbo. I think this is fine. So a lot of people cut force against Delver, and I think you usually should, but there could be a situation where us not having a force means we lose to Cutter. That's the only card in their deck I'm really that scared of. I think we keep the... This is too many lands. Yeah, just do it like that, and then I can end step fetch, surveil. I'm not going to bother with basics this turn, or this game. If they play a DRC, I might just go ahead and fetch a swamp. Then I could play on basics. I think I want to find action here now. They are bobbling themselves. That's usually a good play. All right, and they've got the fetch, so they can do whatever they want next. But I'm just going to go ahead and fetch Surveil. And like I do have good things that I can offload into my graveyard. Like I haven't been playing with Surveils lately, but Bilbo does increase the mana. Oh no, please don't stifle me. Please don't you dare. Okay, they're just Thundering Falls. That's fine. Undercity Sewers. They recently introduced an old border one. Do I want to daze? No. Maybe I should have taken it because I'm going to waste them. Am I going to waste them? With a Nethergoyf, I do want to waste them. If I ponder and Nethergoyf is pretty stout, he's stout enough to survive a bolt. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to do that. Then I'll waste them if it's clear that they're out of game. Yeah, this is a great opener. Like Nethergoyf, like how do you even beat Nethergoyf with a deck like theirs? So the artifact grows it further. No, we already have an artifact in there, so I'm just going to stack like this. How do they beat Nethergoyf with a Murktide? But it won't actually be that big. Got a 4/5, quite stout. They're drawing a Delver. Get our card. It's Nethergoyf. Yeah, and like if I don't waste them, I have Nethergoyf Recursion, which is going to be pretty brutal because I will have the ability to bring it back. I've got enough types. Brainstorm's fine. They can set up. Well, they're going to shuffle, so they won't be able to set up flip on Delver. What they're looking for is probably Cutter or Murktide at this point because like I don't think Delver can really hold a candle to Nethergoyf when he's. They could have some sort of anti-Graveyard card, but I don't think generally like. I think a lot of Delver players just play Grafdigger's Cage, which is a perfectly serviceable card that I often play, but unfortunately it's not good against Nethergoyf. It does shut off the recurrence, but that's the least of their worries. Usually have to die. Okay, so they may actually have the Unholy Heat, but I will daze it. I will save my Nethergoyf because it's going to represent so much pressure, and I don't really need this land. Yeah, that's fine. So I can just push this if I need to. I think I should push it probably. So they're going to look at my top card. Yeah, I'm just going to hold this daze. They don't know about it. Actually, I probably just want to waste, and then like if they do have a Murktide, I can stop that. They get their card. I'll draw my bauble. So I think the play is we go ahead and waste first. I'll waste that just in case they want to bring back the hand. No, I should have done it the other way. I'm going to go ahead and play this out just in case they get antsy and try to force it. Okay, and now I could just kill this. I think it's correct to do so. But then I can't daze. Like they can undaze me. I think I am going to just kill it. And then I'm hoping that they daze here because that puts them further from mark. Let's come across. They don't know what they're drawing because they shuffled. So it could be that, Delver was just a 1/1 and maybe that was a bad move. If they are able to murk and then they can daze me when I daze them, then I'll be sad. And I absolutely could have dazed that, but I'm going to try to convert into something higher, and we got the match. All right, we're up against a combo gamer. I'm going to keep this anti-combo hand with my Thoughtseize, my Force, my Daze, Wasteland, if they try to like have a backup plan in Urza Saga. Enemy number 1 with a bullet, other than, of course, the Fantastic Car. I've been just getting completely destroyed by Urza Saga recently. My opponent's counting their storm. All right, my opponent is bringing it with the welder. I'm going to allow it. I mean, yeah, this is maybe just regular painter. I think I'm going to force. I don't have a clean answer to this. I think I'm actually going to get rid of the brainstorm here because I can borrow away a token if they have a backup plan. I'm going to Thoughtseize them now. So they could be on the painter and just have like the odd mountain draw. Like I think they probably only play one mountain if they're on the non-painter deck, the sewer cam deck. All right, I drew a second Thoughtseize, which may be good. I'm gonna go ahead and get the Underground Sea here because I need the days up. I can't be afraid of them blood mooning me. Let's take a look at that hand and see whether we made the right decision forcing that welder. We did. Yeah, they have Fable next turn. I'll just daze the Fable and then waste the Tomb. Yeah. Then we'll convert our days for a higher value. And then they don't have anything in hand probably, so this second daze is not going to do anything. All right, but it is correct to do this. And then we'll waste this and it'll reduce their mana a little bit. I'm not even sure if it's correct. I'm pretty sure it's correct. Bilbo. Now I don't think we waste them because Bilbo comes out and then we have a lot of optionality. They may have just drawn land. They did draw Painter, so that was why I forced, because I knew that like if they did find a Painter, there's nothing I can really do about it. So next turn is Bilbo, and they do have tons of Pyroblast in their deck, so we'll get land. Oh, that's fine. They can use it later to shut off a Bilbo activation. They may just draw through it right now, though. I do have a Bobble, so if Bilbo gets to attack, yeah, I'm just going to play Bilbo out. They'll use this, and then subsequent activations I'll be able to do stuff. They're hellbent over there. They can't both draw a card and wipe my graveyard, so they should probably just draw a card because they're drawing to like much better cards than denying me. Oh wow, they bricked. Okay, I think they're actually in a pretty rough spot where they need to activate that. Yeah, and I'm just banking these Urza Saga. Oh, that's good. They're one card away from victory if they find the grindstone or an engineer. Netherglyph is pretty sweet. So we're just going to replay. Oh, I don't actually have a bobble in my yard. I can't do anything because they hit the bobble. Yeah. I think I'm going to reduce their mana. I know it feels bad to do so, but I think it's correct. If they draw the thing, it's pretty bad. But I don't think I waste that. I don't think I'll waste that. Yeah, I'm going to play the Netherglyph, though. He's blue. He will die. Gosh, what could they draw here? If they draw Engineer, I think they might be able to win if I don't hit that city, but like I'm definitely afraid of Saga. I can't necessarily beat Saga, and I also kind of want to keep this mana just in case I have to borrow something out of play. So really, we're just hoping to draw really anything that can be flashed back. That's an unfortunate draw. I am kind of tempted to waste now. I'll just attack with both. That way yeah. Oh, I should have actually activated the Thoughtseize. That was sloppy. I could have Thoughtseized at instant speed. Yeah, that was really bad. But then I would have lost power on Netherglyph, so I don't actually know that would have been correct. They're just not... Okay, they may think I have a Bowmaster, so I got 2 free damage there. Cheaty face. All right. So I can borrow the Painter out if they try to grind me and get like an extra turn to swing in. All right, let's surveil. The other option is we just jam Painter. I don't actually hate that. I think that actually might be correct. Just jam Painter and get our clock going. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Like, why give them extra turns? Now they see that I didn't have Bowmasters, but that doesn't mean I won't draw it. So just keep not blocking. They're going to pyro this. They pyro my Netherglyph, which I can bring back. Can I? I can't. Not yet. Ponder. That's such a sick rip. Check this out. Under. No, we don't need these. Wait, we're going to flash back, and then we have force covered? I actually think we're supposed to do this. Because I flash back, and I just draw a force, but then I'm only attacking for 3, and this is a pretty mediocre turn. I think it's better to just spin the wheel, see what I can find. Because those are all dead cards. All right, drew a Bilbo anyway. So now, it doesn't change anything. I can Thoughtseize them, but I don't think that's correct. I'm just going to attack, and then I'll ponder again. I can get used to this. I don't think I'll be able to get used to it because I think it is going to get banned. But, man, what a powerful effect. I think this is just a shuffle. If I take them off that City of Traders, they can't immediately kill me. Flow state is so sick. Yeah, I am going to just do it. Now I don't really have to worry about Brazen Borrower because I can like outrace, or whatever it's called, I can outrace it. And next turn I have Flow State, which will hopefully find me a Wasteland for whatever land they find. If they find an Urza Saga. Great Furnace. Okay, Welder. I have to kill that. Like, if I don't kill that, I will lose. Wait. Do they have... What do they have that they can bring back? They actually don't have anything they can bring back that's relevant. Let's go ahead and go to my turn here. They did have... No, they may have had the furnace in hand. I don't know what they had in hand. Flow state number 2. Don't mind if I do. And I am still in the butter zone. Here we go. Swamp. Snuff out. I think I'm supposed to take Snuff out and Nethergoyf and just wait a turn cycle. No, I don't need the Nethergoyf. Let's take the Swamp. And then I think I'm supposed to Snuff before combat. I'll see if they do a double block. I don't think they will. Oh, I could have freaking... Oh, I can still do it. Watch this. Oh no, I had the freaking... Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm so dumb. Like, so had I snuffed out, I would have been able to flash back, I think. Yeah. That was very dumb. I'll do it next turn. But there is like a small chance that I'm dead. So I can't let them untap with this. It's just too powerful. They can't win. They need both a land and a grindstone to win. And I should be able to flash back the Snuff out and snuff this. They drew a mountain. Okay, so I think we just won. Yeah, they agree. Okay, beating Painter. That shouldn't happen. I'm very happy about that. Bloodchief Thirst get in. Bowmaster is definitely good here. We're going to pull out Bilbo. He was good in that situation, but he's not good in this matchup. And just because I'm pulling him out doesn't mean he's not a broken card. Don't get me wrong, but he's just not broken enough when your opponent's playing like 7 Pyroblasts. Okay. Other changes. I think Thoughtseize comes out. Like they just are a very fast deck. And they're often aggroing you too. They usually empty their hand and then they re-empty their hand with the Phyrexian Dragon Engine. I'll trim a Daze. Do I want to... Actually, maybe I do want to just trim my forces completely. No, I can't. Yeah, but Daze is just so bad against their deck. Yeah, I probably could have just kept the Thoughtseizes. Okay, this is fine. This is removal. It's got pressure. We'll keep it. Even if they Blood Moon me, I can just win off of that basic. The one thing this doesn't have is a land that I can put in my yard. I'm going to go ahead and see what they're drawing. They may have Bolt. A lot of Painter decks are playing Bolt now. Arena of Glory, nothing scary about that. All right, we got our card. It's another bauble. Okay, Urza Saga. We're going to need to find a Wasteland stat. All right, Force of Will, not an unwelcome rip, but not really what we're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and start with a Brainstorm here. This grows the Goyf. All right, these are decent cards. I'm going to put back some of the lands. Put back the Underground Sea. And I don't need this bauble. I think I do want the Bowmasters because I've got Bloodchief Surf for one of the robots and the other one is covered too. I could put back 2 lands. That might be kind of greedy, but like my deck is super low curve. It just comes down to how much do I fear, because I do need to shuffle and I can't get the basic swamp with this. I guess I could just fetch the basic island if I need it. Yeah. Well, it's not going to be as good for sure, but I could bounce the Blood Moon out of play. Let's go ahead and just see and then I am going to just shuffle. I don't actually have anything. Oh, Magus of the Moon. Yeah. Well, I am going to actually need to Brazen Borrow after all. So I'll just go ahead and get the island now. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like, they almost certainly just jam it and shut me off black, and then I have to Brazen Borrower. I mean, I could just force it, though. Yeah, I'll probably just force it, because they're tapped out unless they have Spirit Guide. It's probably force-worthy, considering that, like, it'll cost me a Brazen Borrow, which is what I was going to use to answer one of their turn cycles. Yeah, I think I absolutely have to force this. Bloodchief Thirst can't even hit it because it's a 3-drop. All right. Do they have Spirit Guide into Pyro? Okay, but that was a nice dodge. And if I draw a waste, I can absolutely take them off. The City of Trader. No, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and just do this and see what we can find. This gives me another type because I don't have sorcery yet. So I'll just take this. I think I take Flow State. Okay, and now I can play this out and I'll just attack and pass. They will likely create a bot, but like if they... yeah, actually, if they just have like Painter in hand, I'm dead, unfortunately, because they can go get the Grindstone. Okay, good. I was going to freak out if they didn't make that. It's tiny. I can ping it off, but they're going to get an artifact now, so it doesn't even matter. They reduced the size of it. They're like hurting on mana. Oh, wow. Legend roll their own City of Traders there. What is this? That's a good card. But Bowmaster is going to shut off the second ability. All right, and then I probably should just Bloodchief Thirst one of these things. It'll give me another sorcery type because that's the type they exiled. Daze is very welcome in this situation. Yeah, so I think I hit this, and then I can, yeah, because I don't want them to create money or coins or whatever, treasure. So now I got a 4/5. Flow state's back on. I'll just come across, and then I have Bowmasters. I think that's good enough. Okay, they just trade. That tells me that they probably have Painter, which is terrifying. So I need to keep a Borrower. Okay, they're doing the Exile ability to kill my dude, which is totally fine. I'll get him back. Now that tells me that they probably don't have the combo here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this just so they can't get the value, but they may just do it anyway because they have nothing to lose. Like this gets bigger. Yeah, they did mess up my flow state there, but I think if I cast flow state, they would have probably just done it then. If they're desperate to win, they may just try to combo me, in which case it makes sense to go ahead and just discard and loot. All right. They declined. Is this Painter? What have we got here for 2? Another Fable. Well, I am very happy that I have this Daze. That is a high value Daze. They have the mana to pay for it. Okay. So I'll borrow the token out of play, and then I can attack in. Yeah, I'm going to definitely want to... I can't fetch a swamp with this. I punted. All right, let's just keep the pressure on. I don't want them to create more mana. I can fetch Surveil in the end step and try to get flow state going. Like, they still have the combo if they're willing, but yeah, they're going to flip this thing over. I have to find removal for it. The real question is just, do they have the Painter mana? Okay. Another Fable. Oops, all Fables. Yeah, that's strong. And now they can make like infinite of these things, I think. I actually can't remember how it works. I'm embarrassed to say. I've never played Painter in my life. I probably should, though. It's a cool deck. Wasteland doesn't seem like the card we want right now. We need removal stat. Let's go ahead and try our darndest. Please don't have a freaking Pyro. Fatal Push, unfortunately, is not good enough here. I do need to like get rid of this somehow. I think I have to attack all. And then when something dies, then I can Fatal Push. It's ugly. I'm going to play a land out, though, because I want to be able to play Brazen Borrower next turn and also... Or maybe... Yeah, actually, if Bowmasters dies, that's actually good for me. They may be a little bit skittish here. If they just block both, then that's really strong. I'm hoping to just get a little chip damage because I got Brazen Borrower coming soon. And that'll help them finish off. And it'll be 3 swings instead of 4. They're thinking about, like, oh, he could bring back Nethergoyf if he has the Bowmasters in the yard. But if they don't block and I don't lose a permanent, then Fatal Push doesn't kill the Reflection. They're too smart. All right, yeah. Strong opponent, for sure. I think I'm supposed to just go ahead and clear this. It sucks. I don't want to give them a turn. I could have attacked. I could have done it, but then they untap and they can copy it. So now currently they don't have anything to copy. They get another Fable, but these are legend. No, they can just copy these. Yeah, I'm not sure actually if they made the right call there because like I neglected to realize that they still had another discard trigger. They can make a bunch of these. Okay, Arena of Glory. That was like an early draw. All right, so we need to get through somehow. That's a good draw. I think I'm supposed to attack all, and then I have to push one of these. Gosh, so they're going to be able to copy and block with a copy, and then I kill one. I can't have them, but they're going to get another freaking replicable guy next turn. Yeah, I do need to do this. 3 Fables, like, and I did my best to stop those, by the way. Yeah, so that dies. That's fine. And now, supposed to push. I'll hold this just in case I find a Brainstorm. They're going to copy, and it dies at the beginning of next end step. Wait, what is this? 2 mana. Oh, they're going to copy it a bunch of times. But it's at the beginning of next end step, so yeah. Untimely malfunction, targeting my land, or my dude. Yeah, that's pretty solid. So now I really do need to deploy the Nethergoyf so I have a blocker. Because Brazen Bar, like they're going to attack for a lot here. Instant, land, creature, sorcery. Flow state is not good anymore. But this can block one of them. So we're not completely dead. But like I think what they're going to do is just make a bunch of these and swing in. And we'll be able to kill, like, maybe they swing with the copies because those die at the end of the turn. We're in a bad place, though. They could just wait and make, like, so many copies next turn. I will block this. You got a trick up your sleeve? I'm fine with that. Like, I just want to move on to the next game. I think this game's lost. Soul Cauldron. They can remove my land. Kill my Goyf. Yeah, that's solid. I think this game's super over. Like the Fable's just too good when they get multiples. All right, let's go to game 3. This is a horrible matchup. This is like one of the worst matchups possible because of all the freaking painters. I definitely want to bring in Days. It was pretty good there. We almost stopped one of them. We may have stopped one with Days. I think the threat suite is fine. Yeah, I'm going to do this. This hand is slapping. So I don't have the luxury of getting a basic island, but I can get a underground sea, and then I have Nethergoyf, or I have Hydro off basic island later. But it is possible that they have like Lotus Petal, Blood Moon, and I just lose. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. I could organically draw an island. But you don't put back hands like this against their deck. Like this, these 1-for-1, which so many of your cards, like forces and stuff, like don't necessarily 1-for-1, but it's nice to have cards that are definitely going to 1-for-1. So we're going to get on the table. Snuffhat is a great card against them. Yeah, we're just going to remove the hell out of their deck. And then we'll flow state to refill. And that'll be how we break parity. But they are on the draw. So they have extra cards. That's unfortunate. I'm going to fetch Surveil. I'm not going to cast the flow state yet. I really do want to get 2 cards for it. I could just go for it. But I think I want to keep... No. Yeah, I think I am supposed to just go for it here. It's an extra type. It increases our damage output. It's a sneaky flow state. They might pyro it anyway. They don't. I think this is just another Nethergoyf. But they have the ability to blank our yard. I think I'm supposed to take Snuff out. I'm going to try to press with Nethergoyf. If they Ancient Tomb, that's perilous. I have Hydro for Magus. I'm actually in a pretty good position here. If they are able to Ancient Tomb into Fable, that's scary. It's just a mountain. Okay, great. So Untimely Malfunction is a very cool card. It's in their deck. I love that card. Yeah, I'm just going to drop one of these. Wish I could drop another one. Let's go ahead and swing in for 2. Not the most exciting turn. But we have lots of counterplay. And we will drop another one. And they'll have to get the Graveyard Disruption out of their deck. And I think they only have that one card. All right, I'm going to have to Hydro that. It's just too strong. It does too many things. Now the Ghosts grow. They are going to pay for it, unfortunately. I'll snuff out the token. That did cost them 2 cards, though. Should I snuff out the token or should I Blood Chief's Thirst? I'm actually supposed to Blood Chief's Thirst because that grows the Goyfs, but that does mean I'm deploying one less Goyf. Let's think about this for a second. I wish these were good. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to snuff and then I deploy the Goyf and then I have like basically lethal next turn. Ouch. Let's go ahead and do this first just in case they want to know how to disrupt this. If they can wipe my graveyard, they can survive, but otherwise they're likely to die. And I do have Blood Chief's Thirst. They may be able to combo me this turn cycle, but I think it's just the Soul Guide Lantern that is their sole graveyard disruption, and they get that usually off Saga, and they're definitely not going to be able to use Saga this game. I'm going to waste now with this trigger on the stack so they don't even get the mana from it. They can Untimely Malfunction. They don't. That's a cool pro tip, by the way, that there's a trigger so they can't even necessarily tap it. They're not dead on board, but if I cast Blood Chief's Thirst targeting any creature, if they put a creature out, I'll Blood Chief's Thirst and then they'll be dead. Ensnaring Bridge. Well, I'm going to swing for 9 unless they have gosh, please don't have the freaking Spirit Guide. I need to get them low. Oh, I can't beat that card. The trophy's going to go away here, unfortunately. I get it to 1, but then I have to draw Bowmasters to finish them. They may be able to combo me before that happens. And I can't, there's nothing I can do to like Blood Chief's Thirst at instant speed. I draw a Bobble. That's the draw. They have Fury. So they get underneath this. Yeah, that does it too. All right. So I have a single card in my deck that stops this, which is Brazen Borrower. And this is really the window for me to do. I haven't used it, right? Yeah. So that is like, we have to dig for it. That might be good. Yeah. Can't do anything here. I could bring this back. Oh, actually, if I bring this back, I shrink the other ones. See, 1, 2, I can't bring it back. Oh, wait, I kill one of them, and then I bring it back and I can hit. I think I'm actually supposed to do that. I know it feels terrible. That feels atrocious. And actually, that is a 2-turn line. So let's think about this. So, realistically, we do want to do this play. Uh, instant sorcery land. Yeah, I don't have a... No, there's nothing I can do. Oh, I know what to do. This is really ugly. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to do it in the instep, and then I... Up instep, I bowmaster my own creature to get a creature type. Then I nether go if I exile enough stuff, and then I blood chief thirst. Yeah, that's the line. And then hopefully they just can't combo me. All right, so that comes back. What is your play? Another Fable. That's so annoying. Can't deal with these Fables. Man, they've drawn like so many Fables this game. And I have to hit that, but I can't really. Okay, so let's do this. Bowmaster. Bowmaster's just going to target himself. Okay, and now I have enough creatures in my graveyard to bring the Nethergoyf back. Black Source? I don't get the Black Source. Let's think about this. I think I have Flow State. I think I just Flow State this turn. Tapped out. And I get a good Flow State. And then I'll wipe my graveyard. And then I can start attacking in with the mini Goyfs. Okay, Fatal Push is very essential here. But actually, I think I just take Hydroblast. I blast this so they can't sift. Then I Fatal Push this. And they have lots of mana, but they don't have anything to do with it. No, that doesn't work. Yeah, I have to take the Fatal... I think I have to kill both of these creatures. No, that doesn't even make any sense. But I'm going to take these two cards. Okay. So now I will just blast this immediately. I feel like I have to. They can make a copy. They can't attack. Okay, yeah, because I don't want them sifting through their deck. This is super ugly. I've got plenty of time. My battery's dying, and like the battery cable is like plugged into my microphone, so I actually have to stop recording if I want to charge my battery. So that's like an additional dimension of pain. All right. They don't have good attacks. All right, so here what we're going to do is draw another Flow State. I might just be able to find the freaking Brazen Borrower and just win without having to completely destroy my graveyard. Let's think about this. I do want to kill this thing. I'm going to Flow State. Let's just see what we can find. They have the Pyro. That was their last card. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and I have to pass. Yeah, I can't. Like I guess I could have wasted, and that would have turned on. Yeah, I think. Do I want to clear this? I want to clear this. I think I'm going to go ahead and Blood Chief's Thirst on this, which is the only target, just to get it off the table. I know it's kind of lame, but like I do need to attack with like everything as soon. Okay, so let's think about this. Now they're like totally hellbent, so I can't even get in with Netherwolf. What I'd have to do is attack with Netherwolf. Yeah, I don't think I can win without Brazen Borrower. And they're wisely not tapping their tomb. They're just drawing to their combo, and then they win. Force of Will be good when I can do that. So I think I could wipe my entire graveyard, get like tiny Nethergoyfs, bring them back, and then the subsequent turn I Fatal Push. I Wasteland Fatal Push, and then they take 6. I think that's actually the line. Yeah, that's actually the line. I know it's crazy, but I think it's actually the line. So let's go ahead and bring back Nethergoyf. We're going to take the entire yard with him, I think. I want to leave sorcery in there because I don't have access to sorcery. But then they might be able to get underneath it. Yeah, I'm supposed to take everything. Everything must go. All right, so we've got a bunch of 0-1s. They probably have Fury in their hand. I'm not even going to bother attacking. What is this? What do you have over there? Lightning Bolt. Well, that screws up my plan. But actually, it'll be fine as long as they don't draw something they can cast, but they probably will. I can't actually think of any card. Yeah. No, I can't do it. Well, we're back to square one. I will go ahead and play this out because this represents Hardcast Force. All right. 3 minutes on the clock. I'll just F6. They keep finding lands. But it doesn't really matter. Now I have Force Up. Yeah, I'll just pass. Magus of the Moon. Sadly, I think I actually need to force that, but then that means my offensive doesn't work. Yeah, it sucks, but I'm going to just force it. I can't win through that. I don't have the swamp. Maybe that was not the thing because I already have everything on the table that I need to win, and I'm just waiting for Brazen Borrower. Yeah, I think I punted 6 here. 6 through the turn. Just trying to save clock and purchase battery at 5%. Okay, they found the Urza Saga. If we can find the guy. Yeah, that's... yeah, the game's over. I can't... Yeah, I am supposed to get rid of this because I can search for the thing. And, gosh, I'll just get rid of this while I'm at it. But now we're like all in on Brazen Borrower. Grindstone, so that's very good. needless to say. I can hit a painter. Okay, they're just grinding me. That's fine. Breaking Dragon Engine. I can't do anything about that. I can push it, but yeah, I can't actually push it. Let's pass. They're going to grind me again. No, they shouldn't. They're crazy that they put themselves in danger's way like that. That's annoying. I'm just going to chill. If I can find it. Play that. I think I could clear that. I don't think it's terrible to do so. We got access to swamp now. Oops. Let's go ahead and get the swamp. If they get too much hubris, I can take them out. But I just don't have time. Like, if they bring that back, then I Bowmaster and they're dead. Not necessarily. Okay, that goes to stage 2. Great Furnace. I think I'm going to just play this out. Because if I clear, I need to be able to attack in and actually kill them. I'm pretty sure I can. They're going to have some blockers. They grind me. No. Let's pass. Yeah, they're going to do a bunch of stuff. They've got plenty of clock. I can't really F6 just in case they have it. Okay, that happens. They just go clear the graveyard if they want to, and then my ghosts never kill them. All right, so yeah, this is definitely a loss. Like, 3% battery. I don't actually want to lose my... Oh, they grinded my... they grinded the actual Brazen Bar. So that was the out. That was brutal. That's a very strong deck, strong player. See you in round 4.
All right, we're back. I got a mega dose of sleep, and I just discovered that they banned Fantastic Car. So I was complaining about it earlier, but it was technically not legal at that time. Sorry. So I am filming this after this has come out, and also after the car has been banned. This is not some sort of Metal Gear Solid 2 time paradox. We're going to mulligan this no-lander. We're going to keep this second one. We're up against Drop, Regret, Repeat, whom I've faced many times, and they play a lot of different decks. I think this hand, we could just go Hardcore Nethergoyf. I actually don't think we keep the second Nethergoyf because we just want to make sure we can make our land drops and cantrip and get into the flow state zone. We're not a tempo deck necessarily. We do have a long game brought to us, of course, by the very mighty Bilbo. So exploration, I would normally want to do something about this, but I can't. Thankfully, I do have basic lands in my deck, so I could just go get a swamp and Nethergoyf. That's probably what I want to do. Ouch. Yeah, that's dangerous. Nethergoyf can be bigger, maybe, to block. I'm going to go ahead and see what they're drawing. Maze of Ith, okay. So we would definitely be playing a Nethergoyf that's going to be on chump duty. Or not chump duty, but like he's going to be blocking. He's not going to be doing anything. I'm going to see what I'm drawing. Thoughtseize. Okay, I don't want Thoughtseize against this deck. Their hand is basically empty, so I'm definitely going to fetch here. I think I'm supposed to not play the Nethergoyf, and I'm supposed to grab Island and Ponder here. There's a Bilbo. There's a Force. I don't think these cards are good enough. What am I even looking for, though, at this point? I'm looking for a Wasteland to deal with Urza Saga. I would like to find a basic Swamp in case they have a Wasteland waiting over there. I guess I could take the Force and then Bilbo next turn instead of Nethergoyf, and then I have double Nethergoyf the subsequent turn. I don't hate it. Maze doesn't stop Bilbo for doing things, but having a lot of constructs does. So if they just hang back and create a bunch of constructs, it'll be scary. There's the Maze. That's being staged. Okay, so they can now copy Urza Saga and have a construct every turn for the rest of the game. Snuff Out deals with their first construct. I think, let's see, how big is this construct? It's going to be a 2/2 or bigger, for sure. They can always just copy the Maze and keep both my Nethergoyfs at bay. I think I'm going to go ahead and just jam Bilbo. I think this game is lost, unfortunately. They just had too strong of an opening, and they were on the play. So I have Snuff and Force here. We'll see what happens, but we haven't seen Loam yet. That's another scary thing that they can do. So what I'm hoping they do is, they're copying. They'll copy. Hopefully they'll copy next turn before this goes away, and then I might be able to just waste this. They're floating. This tells me that they likely have the big guy. Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. Well, that's not good. Our deck is very dependent on our graveyard. We'll level the Rumble. I don't think we get many better force targets than this. I am going to force this. This would potentially give them a Loam. They already have a Loam. Okay, so I think the game's lost. Yeah, I mean, we do get to Bilbo, assuming they don't crack that, but why wouldn't they just crack it? I could do that anytime. I guess I don't need another snuff out. That's not really good. I do have the ponder in my yard. I'm just going to attack and attempt to ponder, then they're going to crack that. They're just doing it pre-combat. Yeah. I'll attack them for 2. They can loam next turn. They can loam every turn for the rest of the game. Play a 0/1. Sad Nethergoyf. If they make a dude, then I can kill it, and that'll grow the Nethergoyf. But like there's no world in which we apply enough pressure. I'm just going to concede. Like, tactically conceding against lands is a very good habit to get into. Spellbomb, get in the deck. Force negation, absolutely. Cards we don't want. Actually our main deck is not bad at all against them. We just got kind of a rough draw. I don't like Fatal Push here. Snuff out, like, they're probably not going to be doing damage to us unless they're doing massive amounts of damage. Also, I think, I may be wrong, but I think we can flashback Snuff out for free with just paying the 4 life with Bilbo. Thoughtseize isn't super exciting against them, but we are on the play. Consign to Memory can sometimes, like they're playing Sphere or something. It's not a terrible card. I think it's better than these cards up here. Let's do it. All right, another Heartbreaker hand. I don't think we keep this. We do have 19 lands in the deck, but like if we just don't find a blue, it's so strong. It's so strong, but if we just drew like an Underground Sea or a fetch, but the odds of that are 15 and 55. I don't like those odds. All right, this is much more my speed. Holy cow, this hand is great. The card that goes back is probably the Consign. It's the weakest. You actually have to pay mana for it. It reminds me of that Back to the Future 2. He goes in, he's like playing the video game. He's in 2015, which was the future back then, by the way. And he's playing this like duck hunt type game, just completely destroying people. Yeah, that's not big of a deal. I'm gonna go get a basic island here, another flow state. Let's attack for 1. And anyway, he does like a really good job, and the kids are like, "Use your hands. It's like a baby's toy." Because I guess in the future, the idea is everybody just uses that. It doesn't do anything. Well, actually, this stops Bilbo. Players can't cast spells from graveyards. Yeah, it does stop Bilbo. All right, so the question is, they bin this. I want to find another land pretty badly. I think I'm supposed to Surveil here, and I could absolutely get blown out, but it's not like I can cast any of the spells in my hand anyway. So, Knowledge Spellbomb is a good card. However, it's a type for Nethergoyf, and I can draw to a land. I just need a land. Can we find a land? No. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and see what they're drawing. Hopefully it's not a Wasteland. It's Life from the Loam to get Wasteland. Okay, so we're about to be... No, wait, we're not going to get Shadow Realm because, of course, I am playing Force Negation, which you should always have in your sideboard, not just for like the combo decks, but also for lands. And I think Flow State number 3 can safely be forced. Please don't find a Wasteland. Oh, no! They don't have colored mana. There's nothing I can do to save this. All right, well, we're just going to hope to find a land. Ding, ding. That is good. We can't do anything with it. I'll just come across. I think this game, like, yeah, I probably should get an island at this point. So now they're going to finally spin the mana, and then I can force negate. Oh, Tabernacle, I almost said a bad word that I'm not supposed to say. All right, well, Tabernacle is, as I've frequently said, it is a totally fine card for Legacy. I'm not saying like ban Tabernacle, but it is the most annoying card in the world to play against, especially on MTGO. Every single turn, you have to like go through this process, and it sucks up your clock. This is one of the reasons I said earlier you should tactically concede against lands. It's because of this card. They have Ghost Quarter. I do have Alien I'm going to draw. Yeah, that gives them green. They've been hurting for green. Nethergoyf is just not doing enough damage. We do get a new card, and we do stop their Loam, which we know they drew. They were just waiting for green, so now they can Loam it back. Exploration, I can't fight that if I want to fight Force Negation. Or if I want to fight Loam. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm glad I didn't fight it. Yuck. All right. So we need a Wasteland now. They can tap for Loam, and I'll just force that. That's what I've been waiting for this entire time. I've got a 4 of a kind of Flow State in my hand, which I would love to cast, but I'm not going to cast them when they're wasting me constantly. So this does stop... What? This stops Nethergoyf from coming back. Yeah, we're screwed. Like, I'm telling you, this card is just the worst if you're a control deck. This is why all control decks have to play Wasteland. There's no way we're racing that. All right, so I have to spend my precious mana here. Keep my dude alive. He's a 3-4, though. All All right. I can't do anything. I'm just going to attack. They're at 10. I can't even daze or I lose my Nethergoyf. So let's just hope they don't do anything. Man, they just are steamrolling me. And I didn't ever have the option of grabbing a basic swamp, by the way. Oh, that is death. So what was going to happen is, first of all, daze doesn't do anything here. They just have so many constructs. We'll never catch up. Yeah, we got trounced, but that often happens. It's a bad matchup. Final round. Here begins xanazero. Almost always on Stompy. Of course, their beloved car got banned out from under them. Crimea River. Okay. So, I think this is just a turn 1 Thoughtseize and hope that they don't have a... Well, I mean, we might be able to daze something. I think I'm supposed to go for the basic swamp here. No, I'm going to go for the Underground Sea and just let them Shadow Realm me. But I'm keeping this for sure. I might draw a land. But if I can Thoughtseize them and just rip their hand apart, that'll be good. Ancient Tomb. I have to stop Chalice. I can't beat... Well, I guess I could technically beat Chalice, but it wouldn't be pretty. The fact that they're playing Ancient Tomb probably means they're not playing Wasteland. I'm going to let the Grand Monolith resolve. I don't think we're supposed to let this resolve, because this gives them key. I will pitch Flow State at this point. It's too far away, and I just... Yeah, now I feel pretty glad that I kept this hand, because I'm going to be able to Thoughtseize them, and then if they have the Glaring Flesh Striker, I can... push that. Wow, that's so good. I actually probably should have led with the daze. Yeah, I punted. Okay, so I don't really care about... I mean, K command will be something we'll deal with later, but I do need to take out this key because it just gives them so much mana. And then next turn, I'll get the K command. I don't think they're going to do anything here. They might just play that and name Polluted Delta because I've shown them blue and black. That would actually be an extremely heads-up play if they do that. There's K command instead. Oh, the One Ring. That's a good random draw. Yeah, and so I would have been able to counter that. So I'm feeling terrible. I'm feeling really dumb. My Bowmasters are in the side. Let's go ahead and go to game 2. There's no way we'll catch up with that, unfortunately. Yeah, if I just played out the Underground Sea. So the moment I identified that they probably weren't in the Underground Sea, I drew the swamp and I got really excited. Oh, I can be waste-proof. But, like, please don't do as I did. That was a huge punt. All right, so Bowmaster is definitely good against the One Ring deck. And Force Negation, get in the deck. Consign, get in the deck. Let's go ahead and take out the Baubles. I think they're pretty bad because they get Karn. They do grow the Goyf. Oh. Let's see what else. I don't like Fatal Push here. Snuff Out will kill all their stuff anyway. So we can... yeah, we just want to kill them quickly. That's the name of the game here. It's an okay Bilbo matchup. I'm going to keep... I'm going to cut a land. I'll just cut this basic swamp. On the play, do I cut a land? Maybe I don't cut a land. Because my deck is pretty mana hungry between the Bilbos and the Flow States. And also I've cut the Baubles, which kind of cuts virtual land because it's harder to get to the cards I need. Gosh, if I just dazed that, I would have been in such a good position. My goodness. I wouldn't have necessarily won because they would have still had a lot of mana. But they would have done a ton of damage to themselves. I didn't have clock. Anyway. I'll leave it to the commenters to review what... Leave a comment with how close, like what percentage you think we were to win had I actually just like played out the Underground Sea so I could daze instead of punted like a dunce. We could trim a few dazes just because they're good in the early game. Really what I want to do is pressure, and I don't like daze doesn't really pressure. It calls lands back to our hand. I think Force of Negation is much better here. This is a good hand. I'll keep this. So I'm gonna wait on Consign. That's like our power card that we can use when they try to do the big Planeswalker dude. So I ponder here, and then I force to negate pitching Consign. There's too many lands for my taste, but that's fine. I might find a blue card that I can pitch off ponder, but I do want to get into the zone, so that's why I'm pondering immediately. These cards are cracked. I still think I might want to Bilbo and then Flow State. No. Yeah, actually, I've got 3 lands, so I can Flow State twice in one turn. I think that's where I want to be. So I'm going to put Bowmasters down there. I'll Bilbo next turn, and I'll draw the Ponder now so I can pitch it to Force. I like this setup a lot. And we may not have to Force, but we probably will. Like, their deck just jams stuff. You have to Force, like, pretty much every turn. I would love to be able to Bilbo and hold up a blue source. Okay, that is something I can deal with. They may have the One Ring now. We haven't been able to force, so we're definitely not flow stating. My instinct is just go ahead and Bilbo now. Force the One Ring, and then we just hold the consign for later. And you may be asking, how do I know they have the One Ring? Well, I'm going to tell you, they have Planar Nexus One Ring. I'm going to call it. The odds of them having that are like 16% or something at this point. 17% of them having all three of those cards. But like, that's just my luck. That's just how things go. Planar Nexus. One Ring. Okay, I'm a genius, but unfortunately, I'm a genius who only has a soul consigned to memory, keeping him from death. The more Legacy you play, the more you're going to like notice these patterns, and of course, the more you're going to become determined that MTGO has your number. So this is just flow state, flashback flow state. Yeah, even though I knew I had the Bowmasters coming, it was not correct to let that One Ring resolve. I should have flow stated and found a Wasteland is what I should have done. I think I punted already, but I am able to flow state twice. Let's go ahead and do it. And I don't find it. I do find another flow state and a blue card for force when I flashback force. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, and then I'll probably find a land off the next flow state. But I need it to be a Wasteland. I mean, how sweet is this? We're really seeing just the power of Bilbo. He's going to flow state a second time here. I am going to flow state. It drops my guard. What could they do? If they play another... They could play the giant dude, the Ugin. Yeah, I'm going to flow state again. I'm going to trust in finding a force, and I do. Holy cow. And a Wasteland. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Can Blue finally... Does Blue finally have the tool to beat these decks? We've been losing to this deck so much. This deck has like a 60% win rate. Wizards never takes any action on it. All right, Urza Saga. I think I still need to nail the Nexus. Karn, no thank you. We'll take key. Okay. The question is what to waste here. I think we are supposed to waste the Saga. But if we waste the Planar Nexus, it dramatically reduces their mana. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this first. Just going to see what they have over there. Painter. Painter's in your deck, huh? Okay, so now I definitely think we need to waste the Saga. We just leave him with Painter. Painter blocks indefinitely. Disruptor Flute, I don't really care. I don't understand why they're playing it against me. They just scooped. Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, I was going to do a lot of stuff. But let's take a look at their hand real quick. So it was not that bad of a hand, but like I would have wasted this, and then they have a lot of mana, but they don't have anything to do with it. But they could Mishra's Work Desk into something. I could have flashed back the Thoughtseize, which I think is probably correct, and then I hold up Consign in case they draw some bomb. And then I do waste the Urza Saga. So yeah, they were like much more screwed than they realize, but I am fine with them conceding there. So I think Daze comes out completely now, and I'm going to bring in a couple Mishra's Baubles. No, I think I'm supposed to bring in Push now that we saw that they have Painter. Again, I just don't like Bobble because in the situation where they have a Karn on the table, it's the worst draw. All right. Opponent plays extremely fast. Can you believe it? We're on like game 3, and I guess they're just F6ing because this is a good keep. Yeah. Yeah, and we got the Wasteland and the Force. Giant's Boulder. Okay, this is a cool card. They can descry. They can destroy target permanent. So that's very, very cool. Vindicate. Very close to the banned card that also allows you to tap for any color. But now they have colored mana in their deck. They keep one of those. All right, so first appearance of Giant's Boulder on the channel. I think you're going to see it a lot. So I'm just going to go ahead and make them think that they are dazeable, and that might give them pause. Of these cards, we definitely need to get rid of the One Ring. Grindstone will come down, and we'll just have to live with it. But I can't leave them with... Well, actually, they're pretty far from casting. Warping Whale. Choose one exile target creature or counter target sorcery. Right? That's how it works. Counter target sorcery. It's so weird that they're creating colorless counter spells. So they have Petal, Workshop. I'm not that worried about Grindstone, but they're absolutely going to name Black if they play it, so then I won't be able to snuff. I think I just let them resolve the Grindstone and hope everything's going to be okay. I don't have another Thoughtseize, and I don't want to fight a One Ring. I can now be selective with my forces. Nothing in their hand is a must force. Like, Grindstone does nothing if I stop the actual creature that they're trying to cast with it. Petal's out. Grindstone's out. I'm just going to trust that they don't have a lot of selection and they can't find it. What? Just those two modes, right? Or create a 1/1 Eldrazi. Okay. So I can stuff the Eldrazi at a high cost. Let's not draw a land here. Oh, come on, deck. I think I have to ponder. I do want... Maybe I save my Wasteland. The thing is they get a big burst of mana, and we don't know what they drew. That's so hard. This deck is so hard to beat. Let's think about it. So what would we find that would be really good here? Bilbo. I could just snipe their Urza's Workshop, which produces a lot of mana here. It produces 2, but it'll produce more if they find an Urza Saga. I think that's the correct play. I think I am going to ponder, and I'll just shuffle if I don't find a blue source or a blue card. I should find a blue card. I've got a pretty good density of blue cards. Flow State and a Nethergoyf. I think I need this Nethergoyf. And then what I can do next turn, so I draw the Nethergoyf for turn, and then I Undercity Sewers and bin the Delta so we don't have to draw it. Okay, I think this is good enough. And I will, unfortunately, have to pitch the Flow State, most likely. I do want to reduce their mana here. So I'm going to go for this. This can target any permanent. It's not just non-land. Like it can hit my lands if they want to. All right. So next turn we get our Clock. Okay, they ripped a Saga. That sucks. But they don't have a lot of mana. They'll have to use their Petal to use that. But the constructs are going to be massive. So we have to do this. Dump the land. We just drew way too many lands this game. We got flooded, but it happens. We are playing 19 lands instead of what I usually play, which is 18. Nethergoyf's only a 2/3, so it will die to these constructs. They can also kill it with power or toughness 1 or less. No, they can't kill it. Okay. Okay, and they're still holding off on the Warping Well. They could have created a dude there. Okay, so they drew this. Now they've got all the mana they need. I don't think that it was wrong for me to waste there because like they could have drawn some huge thing. I still don't have an instant in my yard to flow. We have to get a good top deck here. We do. That's pretty good. That does stuff. I'm not going to flow because I want to be able to hold up Force of Negation. And if I snuff something, then next turn I can flow. Actually, you know what I can do? They're going to make it, and then I'll just snuff it, and then I can flow. And I'll probably find a blue card. All right, they make it. Snuff it. All right, they take 3 now. And we better hit a blue card. We're very likely to hit a blue card here. I'm liking my lines. I think I'm playing pretty well after all that sleep. We don't need another Force Negation, but we might actually need it. I definitely want this Flow State. And Brainstorm can put away this land if we get a chance to Brainstorm. So I'll definitely pitch Brainstorm to force if I have to pitch something. I could just hold this Force Negation. I think I'm supposed to take the Force Negation here, and then I'll just pitch cast if necessary. So they're going to create another dude, and then they're going to go get something. And again, if they find the Painter, the game is just over, unfortunately. We've made our beds, and now we'll sleep in them. Okay, they make the dude. They get the desk, which helps them dig. They're producing tons of mana off this. Scarab Swarm, that is absolutely brutal. I think that might be the game because they're going to be able to get 3. Yeah, that does make my Nethergoyfs zeros, basically. 0/1s. And they can actually exile one of them with Warping Well now because they're so small. This is just a 1/1 flyer, though. This is an 8/8, though. That's a big problem. Okay, so options. I think I Flow State and try to find Brazen Borrower or something that actually deals with this. Then I'm going to try to keep the pressure on. I don't think Flow State... I don't think Thoughtseize is good at all here. This is their chance to exile one of these if they want to. They don't. Consign is great. I'll take that. Oh, I only get 1 card. Yeah, and it does need to be snuff out for this 8/8. I'll go and do that. This is their chance of Warping Well. They don't. I can take their Warping Well. I dramatically reduce my life, but I think I just attack with all, and then if they want to triple block, they can. Do they have Giant's Boulder next turn? I think they do. I think they have this. So they've got 3, so each of these taps for 6. So yeah, they've got exactly 7 if they want to use the Boulder. That sucks. I don't know that taking Warping Well is even worth the life, because they may be able to tempo me. Let's take a look at our graveyard again. Yeah. All right, I'm just going to attack. We're going to almost certainly lose one of these to Giant's Boulder, but we're not going to lose any to Warping Well. I don't think just hanging back is the correct option. If they want to throw all 3 of them in front of one of these, they can do that. They're just taking the damage. Yeah, I'm going to preserve the life with Thoughtseize. I don't want to get tempoed out. Okay, they use the desk. Oh, they found Painter's Servant. Okay, good game. Unfortunately, we can't stop that. Wow, that was a disaster. That final 3 rounds. But we did get to showcase just how fun Bilbo is. I think that I don't think I played poorly necessarily. There was the Daze mistake. That Daze mistake really hurts my soul. But I think overall the deck list felt really great. It's just that we got really bad matchups. We got Painter. We got the giant... I mean, blue-black may not be that bad of a matchup against that final round deck. I think every single round we did go to 3 games, though. So that tells me that like they were good. There was back and forth. I don't think that Bilbo is overpowered based on this. I think he's insanely good. But, I mean, he does die to like practically everything. He felt great. Especially, I think Bilbo plus flow state. I think the problem is really more going to be flow state than Bilbo if they decide to ban anything. And I don't know that either of these cards is so strong that it's going to get banned before Eternal Weekend. So if you're gearing up for Eternal Weekend, I'm going to Eternal Weekend Italy. I'm not going to the US one because it's on Halloween. Oh, check this sick art out. New Bowmaster art. Who's this? Yeah, look at that. That's sweet. Full border. Yeah, man, those look much more menacing than these guys that I'm playing with now. Maybe I should swap them out. So, other observations about the deck. Just the threat count is fine. I genuinely think that blue-black tempo can play fewer threats. Netherwolf was great throughout the league. A lot of our opponents had like main deck incidental graveyard disruption, which was very powerful against us. Brazen Borrower was our one out. We actually faced Painter twice, if you consider the way we died in the final round. Just incidentally throwing Painter into the Urza land shell was very strong. And that wasn't Tron. That was some sort of list where they were just playing Mishra's Workshops again. Or Mishra's... I can't remember which Mishra's place name. Where they were able to produce lots of land. Or Urza, it was Urza's Workshop. That's the legal one. Thoughtseize, I think with Carr out of the format, like I would probably go down on Thoughtseize. You could maybe go down to 2 because it is a lot of life loss. So I also have an otter version of this deck where we don't play Bilbo and we play otters. I didn't really miss Tamio. The thing is, Tamio sucks against Karn, and Karn was in a couple of those matchups. Tamio also cost you a tremendous amount of mana. Bilbo costs you mana, but Bilbo's actually proactively attacking and stuff, but Tamio does come down turn 1. I hate to say it, but I suspect that maybe like an optimal blue-black build would be for Tamio for Bilbo, because they're just so strong. So I'll try that in the next league, and we'll just see if we can draw all the cards and get all the value. Till next time, be excellent to each other and party on.